Hello, my name is Peter Kassel, and I am CEO and co-founder of HealthySole. We're the first third-party validated product that uses UVC light to disinfect the soles of shoes. The reason why something like this is so important is because infections are going to be an increasingly important issue within healthcare and the society as a whole. There are a number of issues that are coming down the pike at the same time, which really create a combined pain point for what we're dealing with. And the issue is when these things are a problem, it all rolls downhill. Hospitals and patients are the ones paying the price. Whether you're dealing with numbers of infections like the following, or the fact that hospitals are on the hook for the price of all of this care, you're looking at potentially 35 to 50 billion lost by hospitals in the US annually and 92,000 deaths. We are looking at one of the most underaddressed and underappreciated pathogen vectors, which is the soles of shoes. If you think of everywhere you've been today, all of the places that a hospital physician goes, every patient that they visit, this is taken with them from room to room. If you make the connection then of the dust in the top of your bookshelf at home, this is the same thing that happens in a hospital with aerosolization that happens with every step, depositing, which happens at touch surfaces and instruments at all kinds of levels. What we're dealing with in hospitals is that we really have one method of doing it, which is at the beginning of every shift, somebody comes in, they mop the floor, they leave, they wipe other surfaces as well. CDC research shows that within 3 hours, you're at full microbial load. So that means that if you're doing a 12-hour cleaning, you've got 9 hours of infection, or 21 hours if you're dealing with a 24-hour-a-day cycle. With this product, you stand on it for 8 seconds. It exposes the sole of your shoe. We see a 2 to 3 log kill reduction of viruses and bacteria, slightly lower for spores based upon how fungus works with UVC. And it fits into all kinds of existing protocols. There's no need to replace materials. You don't have to retrofit anything. It just plugs right into the wall. These are our kill rates within a 8-second cycle. These were third-party done, not ourselves. And these are the greatest issues that hospitals are dealing with in terms of infection rates in our current era. To test our efficacy, we worked with the University of Houston School of Pharmacy, and we took a DNA tagged strain of E. coli, spiked the sole of a shoe, then moved through a mock hospital room for 15 minutes. No contact was made with the room otherwise. Then hundreds of swabs were taken of each of these surfaces. The red number is the number of positive swabs for that E. coli. 96% of the swabs showed the E. coli that was on the sole of the shoe, on the surface of the patient within 15 minutes. When using our product, we saw reductions of nearly 90% on the bed and the furniture, 86% on the patient, 83% on the floor. So that means that we are essentially dealing with one of the largest contributors of pathogen load from entering into a patient's room. For this reason, we've been adopted by some of the most prestigious and diligent groups in the country or the world. AbbVie, National Institute of Health, internally tested the unit for 6 months prior to then adopting it in Frederick's Labs, which does safety and efficacy testing for the FDA involving AIDS, cancer, and vaccine medications. Veterans Affairs has placed it within their long-term extended living environments, and more. What we see is a massive market size for a technology like this due to its ability to be applied ubiquitously. We see a 150 million SOM within the US with a TAM of 2.8. There's already been there's been adoption of the product within European and Asian countries, and we expect there to be about a 7 billion additional TAM when looking at the worldwide market. We've already been focusing on hospitals and long-term extended care, but we've been approached by groups like Los Angeles Police Department to retrofit these units into many of their precincts. So we see an enormous amount of opportunity. We've been in the large confectioner's factory. There are corrections facilities, commercial facilities. All of these have approached us and adopted it. Our growth strategy is to do what many would, nail down a lot of the biggest areas within the United States that have large health facilities. We plan to actually leverage many thought leaders and such within the epidemiology world and the CDC circle and all of that, as well as continuing to expand our marketing and research. We outperform competitors because there really isn't one that deals with this problem. Booties were invented to deal with biological soiling of shoes. It was to prevent anything that fell off of a patient from soiling the doctor's shoes. Yet we've adopted them as a process for attempting to mitigate microbiology spread. Wet baths in the hospital situation are clearly a non-starter. And there's one Me Too product that's entered the market that is roughly 6 times the price of our unit and has regulatory issues due to the fact that they offload ozone within the process of generating their UVC gas. Our product currently sells for $5,600. We're working right now to move to a medical manufacturer in Taiwan. We're going to cut the cost of version 1 in half in terms of manufacturing and instantly begin developing version 2, which will cut the cost in half again. Our target is to be considered in the same price range as a Dyson Airblade hand dryer in the restroom. Those sell for $1,600 and are easily sold to all kinds of areas. We see this as an opportunity for our product to do the same. As well, we've opted for a very simple manufacturing process, which also involves our patent, and this allows us to scale quickly and to adopt the product into a number of verticals. We have some great patents. We have 3 utility patents in the United States. These actually really well protect our product and have been issued to us in Japan, China, South Korea, Spain, and we're awaiting approval in India. We chose these areas strategically. They're massive manufacturers for each of their territory. So we saw the opportunity to kneecap anybody who was going to try and take over any of those territories. Our management team has a wide range of experience. We have experience in selling new technologies via modern methods. We have some of the most important faces in infection control who have been a part of trying to deal with this process since the initial MRSA outbreak of the early aughts. Our chairman has 2 successful IPO exits, which allow us the opportunity to understand the process and best exit to our ability. And we have a pathway to exit that we believe is one for success. We're moving the manufacturing offshores. We're going to use continued marketing and scaling campaigns. We also want to establish a market or an office in the European Union. The idea is to use pilot studies in the smaller countries so as to drive adoption across Europe or collect numbers that could be submitted in the United States for random controlled trials. We also see a 5-year revenue of about $90 million in the US. This is due to the fact that we've been approached by so many different verticals to adopt the product, and we see a potential for about $30 million within Europe in that period of time as well. Our goal is to raise $15 million with a Regulation D. We have a Regulation A currently open that we believe will generate an extra $5 to $10 million, but with this amount, we believe we're well cushioned to drive the marketing necessary and have the success we need for an exit. So I appreciate your time. I would welcome any conversations or questions, and I'm Peter Kassel, CEO of HealthySole. Thank you.